What is up, everyone? Coach Alf here, and today we're going to review the keto diet. Is the keto diet good? Is the keto diet bad? We're going to get into all of that, and hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a new or better understanding of the keto diet. First off, let's start by understanding what the keto diet is and what it isn't. Now, the term keto itself comes from a short derivative of the word ketosis or ketogenesis or ketogenic. Take a pick. Either way, keto comes from the actual process of ketosis, where your body forms ketone bodies. And what ketone bodies are is a form of energy that your body creates from its stored fats. It takes stored fats in your body and turns them into ketone bodies. And that is now used as energy, as an energy source for your brain and to get your body through its processes on a daily basis. In order to get into ketosis, you have to follow a ketogenic way of eating, and that is by having very low carbs. Now, why is that? Well, let me explain something that you may or may not know, or lots of people won't tell you. When it comes to macronutrients, fats are essential to your body. That means that your body needs fats and can utilize it for metabolic processes and for keeping you alive and growing hair and skin and all these great things that your body does. Protein is essential to your body. Your body utilizes it, breaks it down to amino acids, and those amino acids are utilized to form muscle and form tissue and form bone and increase bone density, etc. Your body needs it. It is essential to your body. Carbohydrates are not essential to your body. Carbohydrates, your body breaks down and turns it into glucose, which is a form of sugar that your body uses it to store in its body and then burns it, utilizes it for energy. And when your body needs to power itself, either to do some intense activity or just regular activity, it will burn that primarily. Now, as you eat more and more carbohydrates, your body's going to use that preferably as energy. Now, you've probably heard that carbs are your body's preferred source of fuel. That is true, but it all depends on how you look at it. In order of magnitude, if carbs are present, your body will turn to carbohydrate energy first to burn, to utilize for energy. But if there are no carbohydrates present, your body does fine powering itself through ketone bodies, right? Through the process of ketosis. In other words, utilizing your own stored body fat to power itself to get it through its metabolic processes and the intense activity and operating your brain, etc. So how do you get into ketosis? Well, you reduce your carbohydrates. Now, this is different for everyone. There is the more prevalent, bring your carbohydrates down to 50 grams or less. There are some that will get into ketosis by bringing down your carbohydrates to 25 grams. Hey, there are some that get into ketosis by bringing it down below 100. That all depends. That's something that if you are interested in utilizing the ketogenic diet for whatever health goals or diet goals, then you will have to kind of experiment with that and see when you get into ketosis. Now, there's several ways to measure how deep into ketosis you are, but depending on why you're doing the ketogenic diet, you don't necessarily need to worry about measuring. If you are a person who is utilizing it for performance reasons, in other words, you want to utilize your fat as your primary source of energy to power you through some athletic endeavors, and you might want to be measuring your level of ketosis so that you know how to adjust your diet so that you can get the most optimal performance. Now, how deep you get into ketosis will be manipulated by either increased fasting, if you utilize intermittent fasting, and the higher ratio of fats in your diet as well. Again, just to get into ketosis, all you really need to do is reduce your carbohydrates to a level that will allow you to get into ketosis, meaning your body stops burning carbohydrates and starts utilizing available fats in either stored fat or the fats that you're consuming in your diet to burn for energy. But once you're in ketosis and you want to get deeper into ketosis, then you would do that by a higher percentage of fat in your diet, or through intermittent fasting. And of course, the longer you fast, the more into ketosis you get. Now that we understand how to get into ketosis, let's talk about the practical uses of keto. Again, I don't consider myself doing the keto diet because the ketogenic diet, in my opinion, has been co-opted by the food industry and by special interests out there with different agendas. And now they're marketing keto products, which is just crazy because in the keto community, you'll see that most of the community is against ultra processed foods. Just eat real whole foods, right? But now they're marketing keto foods, which are just ultra processed foods out there, like keto cookies and keto ice cream and keto this and keto that. And it's just not my thing. It's just something that I believe is, again, the food companies trying to make a quick buck off of this community that is focused on health and wellness, and it's just trading one ultra processed food for the other. I myself do not use any keto products. I don't eat any keto foods. And what I mean by keto is keto marketed foods, processed foods. I stick to good old fashioned whole foods with few ingredients. So what do I mean by that? I eat meat, fish, poultry, and leafy green vegetables, avocados, blueberries, strawberries, again, all those low carbohydrates, fruits and vegetables. And that is how I utilize food to get into and maintain myself in ketosis. I also utilize intermittent fasting. My average or my go-to is about a 16-hour fast to an 8-hour window of eating. I oftentimes will go 18 or 20 depending on the day. And then every once in a while, I will do a 24-hour to 48-hour intermittent fasting. I do it not because it is the magic to losing weight. It helps through different aspects. You'll hear the haters talking about, well, intermittent fasting works because you're creating a caloric deficit. That's true, but that's not the only reason why I do intermittent fasting. It has other benefits, such as it keeps me sharp. I feel more motivated to do things. I feel more clear-headed. I feel, believe it or not, I feel like I have more energy when I do intermittent fasting. And I also do weight train after a 16 or 18-hour fast. I usually break my fast after I do a weight training session, and probably wait about a half hour after my weight training session, and then I go and eat. And again, I feel great weight training. Again, this is all individualized. This is how I feel. There are people out there who probably have a lot less body fat than I do, and hate to work out in a fasted state. I get it. I understand that. And again, it's all about the individual when it comes to this. Let's talk about exogenous ketones. Now, exogenous ketones are exogenous, meaning that it is not made within the body. You are intaking it from an outside source. Now, exogenous ketones is something that is today being sold out there in a plenty, and also being marketed. And you'll see some folks actually selling it through direct marketing, or what's called multi-level marketing, or what people like to call pyramid scheme. Now, I'm not going to make a video on MLM. I've been in sales all my life. I actually happen to like and respect direct marketing as a vehicle for selling products, an effective vehicle for selling products. I don't consider it to be a pyramid scheme. And again, that's something that's also individualized. I'm not endorsing it. I myself don't do any MLMs right now, and particularly don't do any keto MLMs, but I also don't knock it as well. So if that's what you do, more power to you. But does everybody need to take exogenous ketones? My answer to that is no, you do not need to take exogenous ketones. But again, that also depends on your goal. For my goals, that's not something that I am taking because I get into ketosis rather quickly. Even when I fall out of it, if I have a weekend where I'm going to eat pasta or rice, and it usually takes a high level of carbohydrates to knock me out of ketosis. But it's very rare that I get knocked out of ketosis. But I can get into ketosis very easily just by eliminating the carbs and eating my regular food. And if you are going back to that, if you are a person who is using it for performance basis, and you really want to up your level of ketosis, then an exogenous ketone is a great way to get into ketosis a lot faster than through the natural state. Keeping in mind, remember what I said, it could take somebody, depending on the person, it could take somebody a day, 2 or 3 days to get into nutritional ketosis, or the optimal range of ketosis, which is 1.0 to 3.0 millimolars, right? So using exogenous ketones can get you there faster. But again, it doesn't mean you're going to lose weight faster. It just means you're going to get into ketosis faster. And again, it all depends on your goals. Now, there is also research being done on exogenous ketones are also being used as therapy for people who are addressing some of those metabolic illnesses like epilepsy and cancer and whatnot like that. So that's my spiel on exogenous ketones. It's not my bag, but if it's your bag, more power to you. Now, for me, I don't consider myself doing a keto diet. Again, if I believe that the keto diet has been co-opted by different groups and the food industry and special interests. So a keto diet, when people usually say, "Hey, are you doing keto?" They're usually referring to buying keto products and eating keto protein bars and keto meals and all this stuff. I don't do that. I would consider myself to be more of a low carb advocate. And again, there's so many different variations now. If you go on to the internet, you'll see people in the keto community who are low carb, high fat. You'll just have the low carb folks. You'll have the carnivore. You'll have the paleo. There's so many different versions of it, but they all have one thing in common, which is low carb. And that is what I stick to. I normally will just keep my carbohydrates anywhere between, on any given day, between 0 and 50. Mostly between 0 and 50. And when every once in a while on the weekends, I might go for 100 carbs in a day. And again, I'm not really saying, I don't wake up and say today I'm going to have 100 carbs, but because I've been measuring food for so long, I kind of know exactly what I'm ingesting in terms of macronutrients just by looking at it. And that just comes from having years and years and years of weighing your foods. And but yeah, I would consider myself to be low carb, and the foods that I eat, and I'm a very basic individual when it comes to the foods that I eat. I don't need to come up with 1,000 different recipes to be able to be satiated with my meals and be happy with my meals. Now, you'll see a lot also in the keto community, which is cool and it's fun. And I follow a lot of these pages, and it's every once in a while I'll see something like, hey, shuffle, that's great. Let me try that. Try it once. I'd rather just have my eggs over easy than putting it in a waffle iron. So, but for some people, that could be the thing that either makes or break their diet, by having that variety, being able to have a keto waffle or something like that. But again, you're making that with whole ingredients and stuff like that. I stick to steak, chicken, pork, avocados. I eat broccoli. I love Brussels sprouts. Call me weird, but it's one of my favorite vegetables. And every once in a while, I'll eat blueberries and strawberries and eggs. I really love eggs. Eggs have always been one of my favorite foods to eat, and it's one of the most perfect foods on the planet. So, is the keto diet good? Is the keto diet bad? Does it cause the keto flu? From my experience, I'm able to go into ketosis in and out without any issues whatsoever. I've read of people having what's called the keto flu. I just have never experienced it. But the keto flu is, some people will feel like headaches. Some people will feel like stomach discomfort. Some people will feel just uneasy when they first get into ketosis. But again, there are a lot more resources out there that can help you understand what the keto flu is if you do experience it. And it's not long-lived. It's, from my understanding, if you do suffer some of those symptoms, it will probably be a day or two. And again, it's very easily addressed. You hear some ridiculous allegations out there that you get what's called keto crotch or keto breath. And again, in my experience, I've not experienced any of that. And from what I have gleaned by talking to others who follow this way of eating, it's just, a lot of it is just complete nonsense. I enjoy eating low carb. I don't have a lot of fancy anymore for having rice every day or pasta every day. And when I do eat rice and pasta, I've always found, like many people, that you sit down and you eat and you feel bloated most of the time when you're eating carbohydrates, or you feel sluggish afterwards, or you have that phenomenon where you feel sluggish and bloated, and then an hour later you're hungry again, or 2 hours later you're hungry. I would tell you that it is a blessing to not feel extreme hunger pains. And that is one of the reasons why I eat in a low carb fashion, because I am literally never hungry. Dealing with hunger pains is just something that I don't deal with anymore. Now, every once in a blue moon, I might wake up with some hunger pains, but other than that, I just don't have hunger pains. And that is controlled by the way that I eat, which is in a low carb fashion. I don't get tired of eating steak, chicken, pork, eggs, avocados, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. These are just foods that I could eat on a daily basis. I don't miss. The funny thing is, when you eat this way, you just don't miss or have cravings for the things that you used to. I do crave eggs. I do crave avocados, interestingly enough. I do crave steak. All the good, healthy things that I'm eating to go through my body recomp, my bodybuilding, and my losing fat. Now, I will tell you that utilizing a low carb approach, utilizing intermittent fasting, utilizing keeping my calories below maintenance has helped me consistently lose weight. But again, also keeping in mind, weight loss is never linear. People want it to be this way. People see the before and after picture and think that it's before and after, and think that from the before to the after, it went like this. And it's never like this. When losing weight, it's going to be something like this. It's look like the stock market, if you will. It's never linear. You're going to have your ups, you're going to have your downs. But when I say consistently, is on average, you can continue to see the line going down. So even though it's doing all of this stuff, it's going down. And it also takes time. But again, what I like about the low carb way of eating is no cravings, no ridiculous hunger pains. I don't feel bloated all the time. I sleep better. I feel good about myself. I feel good in exercising. I actually want to exercise now. I want to weight train. I want to go do cardio. I go and hit the heavy bag. It's something that I purely enjoy. Is the low carb way of eating for you, you'll have to decide. Hopefully the information I provided today helps you either pique your curiosity and seek out more information, or maybe I just gave you enough information for you to say, yeah, this is something I want to do. Or maybe I just gave you enough information for you to say, nah, it's not for me. And that's perfectly fine. Again, my goal here today is to provide information on the ketogenic diet in case you just have been hearing about it, but have not really understood it or have wanted to understanding, and hopefully I accomplished my goal here today. Go ahead and follow me and like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that little reminder button so that when I upload a new video, you could be one of the first to get it. I'll be cutting out more videos with a lot more information. And also, if you want to go ahead and check out coachalf.com. If you are needing a little bit extra help to hit your health and fitness goals, I am a health and fitness coach and can help you as well. Until next time, Coach Alf here.